Hello, you're welcome to another wonderful edition of the Gospiration Show with me, myself, and I. My name is Bimbo Olasope, aka La Beams. They call me the Mary Poppins of content. Simply because I also add value to you through inspiration and motivation in a fun kind of way. And what you're watching right here is the Gospiration Show where I encourage you to love God more, trust God more, and always know that God is in it with you to win it. I always love repeating this. The aim, the mission, the vision of the Gospiration Show is to encourage you to love God more, trust God more, and always know that God is in it with you to win it. And now I've been doing this gospel show upwards of 13 years. I started on radio 2013. I brought it to an online space COVID year 2020, and I've not looked back ever since. And it is because I've been consistent at this because it's a mandate from God for you and I. As long as you're a child of God, you need to find a platform of expression to let other people get to know more about this God you profess to carry on your head or to know or to love. You get what I mean? And that is why I do this consistently. Now, since 2013, I've been doing this show only on Sundays. Like, I only record on Sundays and then I post it up on all my different social media platforms. Yes, like I said, I was doing it on radio and all of that. But this month, I got the money to start doing it during the week, so that means twice a week. So I've only done it once so far. I apologize because the other part of the week, of the month, I've been actually sharing testimonies about my sickness season. So if you've missed that, you might want to go on my page, my YouTube channel. Yes, I shared one particular testimony on my YouTube channel, like Beams TV, and then a whole lot more on my IG and Facebook. Okay, at La Beams. So and then I just reminded me this week, like, girl, you need to do what I told you to do. So who am I to disobey God? And besides, it's so interesting because August is actually I declared it my month of Thanksgiving. This August makes it 1 year that I went through that sickness season and all of that. And then August has been so many, that's been very, very significant in my life in so many areas. August this year makes it 5 years. I relocated with my family to the UK. August has so many important, like, is it anniversaries or symbolism, so to speak. So the fact that I'm doing this in the month of August, I got this money to start doing conspiration twice a week in the month of August. Is also very significant for me as well. So, without much further ado, let me just get right into it. So, the last edition of the Conspiration Show, I spoke about the battle belongs to God. If you missed that, you might want to go check out on my YouTube channel, Labims TV, Labims TV. Please subscribe, okay? Let's get me to 1,000 subscribers. I mean, it's been long overdue. I'm on 500 and something right now. Please, let's get me to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, please. All right, thank you. So, today's topic is a very interesting one because I got this topic like 2 weeks ago, but I don't know, for some reason, I don't know why I didn't even talk about it, but it is what it is. So, like I always said, the hospital show might be something I'm going through, I've observed, I've noticed, and all of that. When you listen to the pastors, our pastors, shout out to them, men and women of God, they lay it on like it's hot. But I speak more from my own personal work with God, what I've come to realize and understand, from my own life, and God in the mix, so to speak, more relatable. I'm not saying pastors are not relatable. You get what I mean? Like, I'm just saying as it is, like what I've noticed. Because it's very easy when pastors are preaching, hey, pray, fast, and all of that. And then you just feel like, oh, your life will, I'm telling you as it is, as I'm walking it, and I'm just realizing that, God, it is not easy actually walking this path with God. It is not, because the devil doesn't want you to walk this path with God. So he will throw so many things at you. And if you are not strong enough, you're going to fall. And like I always tell people, in this life we are in, it's a very spiritual one. Forget about all we're saying physically. There's a whole lot more going on spiritually. So you need to be holding on to something spiritual. Either holding on to God or holding on to the devil. But I advise you to hold on to God. Just like the Bible, it's the part of the Bible that says there are two ways. Choose life, the road that leads to life that you may live. Because sometimes that wide road leads to death. Okay? That's not the topic of today. So the topic of today, like I said, I got it a couple of weeks ago, and it is why you need to be careful, why you need to know, how did God give it to me, like, why you need to, it has to do about negative patterns in your life. So why you need to be careful about negative patterns in your life, why you need to look out for negative patterns in your life. Now, someone may say, I don't have negative patterns. You need to sit down and actually critically analyze your life, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. I actually had to do this a couple of years ago, and I realized that, oh, that's why I needed to make some changes. in the way I brought up my children, in my relationship with them, and all of that, because I realized that we were getting into a negative pattern that was at play in my family life, in my ancestral life. Yeah. So I'm talking about my father's side, my mother's side, even my ex husband's family side. Like there are some patterns, and I want you to sit and analyze. Now, I'm not being over spiritual here, but it's just the reality of life. You have to sit and this happens to even Oyimbos too. Let me put it like that. So don't think, oh no, this is just a Nigerian thing or an African. No, it is a life thing. So you need to be very careful of negative patterns. You have to look out for negative patterns and start to prayerfully break it, prayerfully avoid those negative patterns. Sit down and look at, oh, what happened in my mother's life? What happened in my father's life? What happened in my husband's life? What happened in my wife's life? What happened in my grandparents? You know, you need to sit down and look at, because these negative patterns exist. Patterns generally exist. Positive patterns, negative patterns exist. Some people in their family at a certain age, things happen. I'm sure you've heard about this before. You might have heard about this. You know, some people in their families, maybe at a certain age, some people don't grow older than a certain age, or at a certain age they start to fall sick, or at a certain age something negative happens to them, or at a certain age something positive happens. You know, you need to sit down and look out for those patterns, so at the negative ones you start to break them, because you can't break them, you have the power to break them. There's a part in the Bible that says that there shall be no divination or enchantment against you. Whatever you decree on earth shall be decreed in heaven. Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever you lose on earth shall be losing in heaven. So you have that power and that authority to break those negative patterns. But you must be aware of them first. Because if you're not aware of them, you will actually live through them. Now, I like to use examples from my life and then, of course, from the Bible as well. So in the Bible, if you look at Abraham and Sarah, remember that Sarah was barren for how many years? So many years, right? And at the end of the day, God gave her a child and everything. But guess what? In Isaac's life as well, that pattern of barrenness was also at play. Remember, Rachel was all sorry, Rebecca was also barren until God answered her prayers, and then Isaac had to go pray about it. Meanwhile, Isaac was blessed in every other thing. Like the Bible records, he was wealthy and all of that. I mean, he was a blessed, was a child of the covenant, wasn't he? But that did not stop that negative pattern from still coming to play. And Rebecca was barren until God blessed her with twins, Isaac and Jacob. Now, get this. I said Isaac and Jacob. Sorry, Esau and Jacob. Jacob and Esau. Esau and Jacob. Esau was the first twin, right? You know, get this. It also wanted to come in play in Jacob's life, in the life of Rachel, his wife. Now, I know someone will be saying, oh, you married Leah. Leah had children and all of that. But Rachel was barren. So that negative pattern was still at play somehow, somewhat, you know, until he had to break it. So there's some, I could go on for days. If you look in the Bible, there are so many other instances as well, but I just want to quickly use, because I don't want this to be long at all. You know, I just want to quickly use those ones. So you need to look at your life at those negative patterns and start to break, in case you're not aware of it. But if you're aware of it, then all kudos to you. I hope you're breaking it. Wherever you are, it's very easy. Just start to pray about it. Do you understand? Pray about it, because once you've acknowledged something, then you pray about it, you know, pray fast and all of that, and break it, as it shall have no effect whatsoever. I did that in my life as well, and I'm still doing it in my life. All right, like I said, the way I'm bringing up my children, even my own life as a single parent, I was like, oh my god. I looked at my own family, I was like, oh, a lot of women in my mother's side are actually single moms. No, no, no. And that's why I decided, oh, I want to get remarried again. Because before I was like, no, I mean, I'm fine. Yeah, my children are grown. Let me just enjoy my life. No, I want to break that pattern. Do you get what I mean? So there are so many other patterns as well. Patterns of rising and falling, patterns of not being successful, patterns of mediocrity. Look out for those patterns and start to break them spiritually. Acknowledge it and start to break it. Invite God into the mix. Let God know that, God, I've noticed this pattern and I don't want it to have any effect or bearing on my family, on my children, on my relationship, on my career. Okay? Know this and know peace. With these few words of mine, I hope I'm convinced and not confuse you that you should be careful and be aware of negative patterns in your life and start to break them. All right? So, like, come your way again on the next edition of the Gospiration Show. Remember to love, start your day with God, end your day with God. You will never know shame. All right? Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Labims TV. Labims TV. My name remains Bimbo Olasope. From me right here is bye. Stay safe.